Greetings. The International College of Behavioral Counseling welcomes you to Life-Defining Axioms. Each axiom contains essential wisdom for living. And today's axiom simply states the issue is seldomly the issue. That's right, the issue is seldomly the issue. There's a story behind every story. There is a reason for every action. There is a motive for every offer. The issue is seldomly the issue. And so here's a gentleman who puts his arm around the man and says, listen, let me show you something great. Have you ever had that happen? I will introduce you to a program where you'll never have to work a day in your life. You will be so happy that you met me, that you actually uh, responded to my love, to my program. Here it is. And while he's telling you all this, you're beginning to question and wonder what kind of a wonderful, once in a lifetime program is this that'll make me rich and I'll never have to work. All the meantime, he's carrying a hatchet behind his back. That often is the case. During World War II, the Nazi army, the German army, demolished entire neighborhoods, supposedly for their war expansion. The only thing was the neighborhoods they demolished were the Jewish neighborhoods. And they took the people and put them into cattle cars and took them off to Auschwitz and Dachau. My wife and I visited Auschwitz and stood in the very gas chambers where these people were poisoned and then incinerated in chambers. Terrible, but there was a motive behind their motive. The Large Hadron Collider is the largest machine ever built by human beings. A number of nations came in together on this project. It lies 500 feet below the surface of France and Switzerland. And it's a circle that's 17 miles in diameter, a tunnel 17 miles in diameter, 22 kilometers, large enough to drive two school buses through it all around if it was empty. And they fitted it with all kinds of electromagnetic generators, and their purpose was to crash atoms one into the other. You see, we used to think that the atom was the smallest particle to mankind. Well, no, they found that atoms are made up of neutrons and protons and electrons, and there's a lot of other junk inside of each electron, and they're trying to find the boson particle. They call it the God particle, which supposedly is to hold all matter together. And so these scientists are working on that, thinking that's what they're looking for. But really, the reason behind that is they're trying to find a portal, an opening into the other dimension. What do you mean the other dimensions? Well, there are other dimensions. The demons live in other dimensions. The angels live in another dimension. God lives in another dimension. And they're trying to open up a portal into that dimension so that they can get information out, because the demons are far more wise than man is, far smarter than man. How do I know that's the case? Do you realize that at the dedication of this tunnel, they went ahead and dedicated it to Shiva, the multi-armed goddess that dances? She is the goddess of destruction. Ah, but the Hadron Collider, there's a motive behind the motive. Gun control is another one. We got to take away guns because it's killing too many people. Yeah. That's really like saying let's take away all the spoons because it's making me fat. Listen, guns don't kill people. People kill people. You take away their guns, they'll kill each other with rocks if that's the case. The declaration is often hidden. A defense of a motive is often hidden by words of platitude or plans. Okay, there was an elder that came to church. He prayed every Sunday, "Oh God, give me a new car." Every Wednesday night prayer meeting, "God, give me a new car." If I had a new car, I could bring kids to Sunday school. I could pick up old ladies and bring them to church. I could deliver food. Well, one day God gave him a car. Well, the first Sunday he got this brand new car, he went and visited his mother. Well, I can understand that. He hadn't seen his mother for a while, and she needs somebody. She's an older person, okay? Well, the second week came along, they had to go and visit their kids and their grandkids. The third week came along, was a beautiful, beautiful weekend, and they went to the beach. And he never picked up one child, never visited one lady, never delivered one meal. but there was a motive behind his prayer. Motive behind the motive. It was Leo Tolstoy who made this statement. He said, it is amazing how complete is the delusion that beauty is goodness. Beauty is not goodness, because I can present myself as a godly individual and still carry a hatchet in my back pocket. The motive then is seldom hidden by another issue. Well, like clubs, for example. Back in the story is told of cavemen who decided there was too much hurting. It was hurting society for all the cavemen to have all these clubs. So let's gather together and burn all our clubs and bring peace to our society. And so they all had a great big club burning fire, and they all rejoiced over that. But they noticed there were 10 guys that kept their clubs. And when they were confronted, they said, well, somebody has to be able to enforce the law that we have just made. There's always a motive behind a motive. Protect our society from clubs because too many people are getting hurt? No. It's because when we disarm you, then we have the authority over you. And seldomly is the issue that has a hidden agenda. Gun control right now is the great big thing. It's killing too many people. Listen, it's like the school student who's said to his teacher, my pencil failed my test. It's not my fault, it's the pencil's fault. Well, John chapter 11, verse 47 makes this statement, and I'm paraphrasing here, which really explains what the motive is behind the motive. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees, had a council together, and they said, what are we going to do with this man? Because he performs many mighty and notable miracles, and if we don't stop him, all of Israel will follow him. And then what will happen? Then the Romans will come and take away our place and our nation. See, they were protecting their place, their positions. That's what they were protecting, not that Jesus was doing anything wrong. There was a motive behind the motive. And we find the same thing about the money bags, Judas. One day a lady came to Jesus and anointed his feet and his head and his body with very expensive spikenard ointment, oil. And one of the disciples, whose chief name was Judas Iscariot, said, why wasn't this sold for at least $300, 300 whatever, and given to the poor? But this he said not because he was concerned about the poor, but because he held the money bag and he was a thief. It was William Shakespeare who made the statement, no legacy is so rich as honesty. If I lose my honor, I lose myself. Would to God that was the case with our politicians today. James chapter 5 verse 12 says this, but above all things, my brothers, swear neither by heaven nor by earth or by any other oath. Let your yes be yes and your no be no, because anything beyond that is sin. One translation puts it, you will fall into condemnation. So be careful who you listen to. Make sure that you hear with the Spirit, not with the voice that'll excite your flesh, because it'll be an opportunity once in a lifetime. You'll never have to work. You'll have all your needs met. This medicine will make you healthy. Don't listen to that. You see, what I've shared with you today is good theology, and it's great psychology, and furthermore, it is essential wisdom for living. I'm Wilf Kent. Visit our website, icbconline.org. Until next week, then farewell and keep well.